Morning. I wanted to start today with a little message that it's okay not to be okay in this moment. I went into this last week in my usual doer phase because that's just naturally built in me. And the doer phase for me is get everything done, get everything done, get everything done. What can we do? How do we fix this? How do we go about it? And I wasn't acknowledging the flip side of that. So yes, you're in survival mode, productive mode, let's do all of this, but the balancing effect of that is the reality of what was going on. And then when I was doing all my strategy and this and that, the reality that a lot of things that I was prepared to do this year weren't going to happen. A lot of events that I'd created, a lot of other things, everything was now not as it seemed. And then because I hadn't been acknowledging the fear, the anxiety of the overwhelming situation at hand, I just, it all kind of came up to a point where it was just bang and hit me like a ton of bricks basically. And yeah, it was a bit full on. So what my message for today would be is it's okay not to be okay in these strange times. Once I realized, okay, hang on a sec, what aren't we doing here? And I wasn't processing any of the fear, sadness, disappointment, emotion. I was like, okay, let's, fix this phase, which is me. It's doer, let's be productive, let's do this. But the best thing I learned many years ago was balance. And I even created an artwork, and I had each letter was an artwork, and I had it up on my wall. And for the life of me, I couldn't find it. And one of the best things I learned through a therapist was at 32 was to grieve. I hadn't grieved my whole life. I was always in that I'm okay mode. And so, grieving about maybe the next few months, what's not going to happen, allowing fear and anxiety to come up and show its head and acknowledge it. Best thing I did the other night was sit there and cry for 2 hours in the bath with a glass of wine. It helped to reset the balance, and then I can be productive because I'm acknowledging the fear and the anxiety. Not that it's easy, because when you do acknowledge what's going on, it's pretty scary. And not something I was prepared to kind of get into earlier on. It's like, I'll be right. And you know what? It's okay not to be okay. There's a couple of things that I've, learned through going through depression in my younger years, and probably the key thing, which, it's automatically for me to go into survival, protective mode, let's do this, fix it. So the best thing I've learned through all of that as well is that go to that place, allow yourself for the fear and anxiety to come up, because when it does, it's okay to be sad. You allowing yourself to feel the emotions and to process, and it's a weird feeling because a lot of the time we're so busy we don't get to do this. So allow it to come up, and it doesn't mean that you're in a depression. If you're feeling sad, you're okay to feel sad with what's going on in the world and how it will affect people that you care about, your life, other people's lives, the world in general. It's okay to feel sad right now. It really is. I think many years ago, after going through depression myself in my early 20s, I tried so hard to be this positive, happy, person for such a long time. And I was looking for balance, which was what made me create that artwork. I always felt like I was this trying to be, and it felt fake because I thought nobody actually understood me. I was too scared for me to understand me and to feel those emotions, because when I was depressed, feeling sad was so overwhelming. But this time it's okay to feel all these emotions, feel sad, go into there and allow it to come up for you. Because for me, when I don't, all of a sudden it hits me, and then I, feel like it's overwhelming. So if you can, allow it just to flow. And it's not going to be all day, but if you feel like having a cry, grab your loved ones if you're lucky enough to be with them. I've got Georgie Bear, sad but true. But cry, talk about it. It's okay to be sad and to feel, these emotions right now. It really, really is. And I encourage you to start the conversations with your family, because everyone's going to be feeling it. I'm very grateful for the wonderful feedback that I received yesterday, and it gave me a sense of purpose that my videos were helping. And I just thought I really wanted to be honest, because I spent 2 days working through this stuff for myself, and I just thought, well, if I'm not going to be prepared to share that part of me with you, then what's the point of actually doing this? So yeah, if you have been through depression or anxiety, remember that you've got some amazing tools that you've learned, that you've been given, that you can take on board and that can help you. And you know what, a simple phone call to someone who you think might need it makes all the difference. I had 2 yesterday, and people that aren't in my best friend circle that just reached out to check in because they wanted to make sure the extrovert over here was okay, and it meant a lot. And if you can do that for someone else, or if you're not in a place, think about who might need a phone call. I'll pop a few things up on my Insta story, but if you don't have someone, or feel that this is something you wanted to talk about with people that there's a lot of helplines out there. There's so many, so I'll list as many as I can on my Instagram stories for you. If you feel like you need to pick up the phone, if this feels more than just sadness and you feel that there is no way out, it's a shitty headspace to be in. And I remember those days, as much as I tried to forget them, you do. And so if you need that help, pick up the phone. There are a lot of helplines out there. There's a lot of people still working because they care, and they're doing that because they want to be able to help you. So if you don't feel that you can talk to a family member or anyone else in your community, reach out to one of the helplines and get some help. And anyone who is lucky enough to be living with family, talk about this with your families and talk about how you feel, because when you release all that emotion and you release it, and it's okay not to be okay in this moment, because none of us have really been through anything like this before. So it's, uncharted waters. So find something within yourself, a little bit of courage to have these conversations with people that you care about. So just remember, it's okay not to be okay. If you've been through stuff before, try and think of some of the tools that you may have that can help you mentally and emotionally through this. And if you need a bit of support, ask for it. I will get back into the business videos because everyone's finding them extremely practical, but knowing in this moment that you've got support and that everybody is probably not feeling okay, and that will be different levels for so many different people, and people are going to be feeling things in different ways. I'm not saying I have all the answers, but just to know that it's okay not to be 100% yay, upbeat and positive. Like, it's scary. And so knowing that you've got support from people who are feeling the same can really, really help. So reach out to somebody if you need help, or if you know someone that might need a bit of extra TLC in this moment, give them a call. All right, thanks.